to speak to you. My colleague has said a lot, but I would like to start from the top and bring it down. So, we are talking about deepening the youth participation in democracy, which I think is crucial for the sustainability and vibrancy of our democratic process. I will be introducing you to exploring with you the concept of democracy. We look at the youth populace. We look at how they've helped in the governance process. We look at some challenges and we look at some recommendations. As a law student, we like to structure things well. So that's how we're going to go. So the concept of democracy is not new to most of us. So I'll just go straight and give you one definition from the Black Law Dictionary, the 10th edition, which says that democracy as government by the people, either directly or through their representatives, elected by the people. We've had our famous Abraham Lincoln also give us a definition, which says the government of the people, by the people and for the people. Ghana's objective on our democratic state is in Article 35, Clause 6D specifically. And what it says is that we should make democracy a reality by affording all possible opportunities to the people to participate in decision making at every level in national life and in government. So we know how important democracy is to us. And this evening or afternoon, we'll be looking at two things, the youth and the democracy. My colleague has said who the youth are, and we know that they range between the 15 and 35. Unfortunately, I'm not a youth because I've passed that age. But I believe that I will take consolation in David's words that I'll live for the Lord. And I'll identify myself as a youth because, come on, don't I look good to be a youth? Yeah, so ask the one sitting by, are you a youth? Okay, so let's look at a brief history. Our traditional setting has always had the youth represent them in decision making, and we properly call them the Mrantiahine. That whenever decisions are being made in a community, they form part of it and they take decision. There is also literature on the ASAFO, the Veranda Boys, Gold Coast Youth Conference, West African Youth League, and Committee of Youth Organizations, to mention just a few, whose activism in various areas fostered a drive to independence. It is interesting to know that it is the Committee of Youth Organization in the 1950s that produced the Youth Manifesto titled Towards Self-Government. The setup of these youth organizations was the beginning of the triumphant journey of the party of youth and indeed of the common people of Gold Coast to independence. Our history also tells us about youth who were active to ensure we attain the highest form of development in this country. And we can talk about people like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. We've seen people like J.B. Danko, Mensa Saba, and the likes. And most importantly, our very own, the late Jackson Rawlings, who led a successful coup at the age of 32 years old. He was still a youth then. I'm not saying that the coup d'etat was a good thing, but I just want us to draw our mind to the fact that as young as he was able to lead the people. There was a time that we had this famous demonstration, which was led by our very own president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, titled the Kumipreko, with his comrades, all in the quest for a better Ghana. All these youth participation have helped develop and shape our democracy. Now, gradually, you realize that in the day, I think some years back, you realize that we vote based on family. If my father says that we belong to this party, that's where we vote. We don't ask questions. We don't do anything. But gradually, the days when the youth told those lines, whether good or bad, is fading out. Now, young people want to assist themselves with good policies, developmental issues, and use every opportunity to advocate and discuss issues that affect their development. This is evident in our current voting pattern, where political parties are losing seats and votes in their so-called strongholds to their opponents. For the past 10 years, there has been a vast growth in student activism and politics, And this has led to youth playing active roles in various political parties in Ghana. And we can talk of the likes of Samia Uku, Sami Jemfi, Justice Kodia. We look at our own Dakwa Newman, Akosia Menu, just to mention a few, and a whole lot of them. Now we even have an MP who is 27 years old in Parliament representing us. So it's not far-fetched when we say that the youth needs to be part of democracy. We also witnessing various youth movements, such as the Fix the Country movement, Arise Ghana, One Ghana movement, and currently the new force being led by our own Nana Kwame Diako with the Max, aka Cheddar. In addition, we have various institutions and organizations that have their main focus on youth development, training, and entrepreneurship. We have the NYA, National Youth Authority, Youth Employment Agencies, Youth Advocates Ghana. Now we even have our Youth Parliament, which aims at nurturing the youth in political advocacy, among others. These institutions are also pivotal in drafting policies aimed at promoting and developing youth participation in governance. Far-fetched, we have challenges. The involvement of youth in Ghanaian democracy have had a profound impact on governance. Additionally, the inclusion of youth perspective in decision-making process has enriched public discourse and contributed to a more holistic and inclusive governance practices. While progress has been made in involving youth participation in Ghana's democracy, challenges still remain. I need to emphasize that democracy is mainly decision-making, and all categories of persons, including the youth, must be represented. The question that I would like to pose to our various arms of government and our leaders is that, are the youth participants and stakeholders in drafting these policies that are in relation to them? If no, then how do we make laws for people without considering the involvement of over 38% of the youth of the country? According to the Statistical Service, in 2021, the youth population stood at 38%, which is approximately 11.7 million youth. So if you are taking decisions and they are not part of it, how do we set and watch? In addition, for my initial submission, I made mention of a constitutional provision. The Constitution mandates us to make democracy a reality by affording the people the opportunity to participate in decision-making at every level in national life and in government. However, this same Constitution places a limitation on the youth in attaining the highest office by setting the minimum age of president at 40 years, stated under Article 62, Clause B. How? When we have 27-year-old ministers in parliament doing well for their constituency, our very own former president, 32 years old, leading us, why do we think that we have to place limitation on the youth to say that, or probably they didn't set the age well, probably they wanted to do 15 to 40, but since it still remains at 15 to 35, I believe that they should be included. And I strongly believe that we should take a second look at these provisions in the Constitution if we want to uphold equal participation of all. Again, I would like to ask, how many people in the age brackets of the youth that are lost in key positions such as directors, managers, and even board members of organizations champion the development of this country? Our education system has also limited our participation. It will interest you to know that the average first degree investor graduate in Ghana is 22 years old. If you have to go by the fact that by age 6 you are supposed to be in class 1. This leaves them with 13 years to be actively involved in democracy. It may be even worse for those students who do not get a chance to study anything on politics. For example, I did business. There was nowhere in my course where we had things talks about democracy or anything. We went strictly to figures. Ghana Statistical Service reported on illiteracy in 2022 and revealed that about 2.2 million of our youth out of the 11.7 that I mentioned are illiterate. Simply put, they can't read, they can't write in any language at all. These people, according to the report, cannot read. Like I've said. What this means is that the numerous policies, and I can give it to Ghana that we have a lot of policies, good policies, paper tigers, being all over. So these 2.2 million people who cannot read and write, how do they have access to this information? To worsen the situation, political parties poach youth activists who want to uphold the remnants of democracy in the society. They add them to their political agendas and end up corrupting them. Our cultural orientation has a limitation on the involvement of the youth in this sense, that they are not seen as competent to be appointed or involved in key decision makings and policy deliberations. Like we know, we used to have a situation whereby when your parents talk, you can't talk. When your elders speak, you can't speak. So you, the youth, if you are the policy table, your decisions don't matter. These are many challenges we face as Ghanaian youth. Now, what needs to be done? For me, I believe that there is a need for education and awareness. A comprehensive civic education in schools and communities to inform the youth about their rights, responsibilities, and the importance of participating in the democratic process. Like my colleague said, if we don't know what it is, how do we participate? This, I believe, should start from the basic schools. Catch them young, and they shall be yours forever. Teach them the right thing while they are young, and they will uphold it. Conference such as what we are seeing now should also be extended to the remote areas and be held in various languages. Our appeal with the NCCE to consider translating our constitution and other important legislation into various languages to reach the masses, and they must make deliberate attempts to push the agenda. I remember some years back, Shraj translated its Act 456 into a braille-readable format for the School of the Blind at Ekrupon. And it was amazing to see the blind students read with the aid of the braille version of the Act. I think same can be done with us too. And especially, probably in an audio form as well, for those who cannot read and write. Education should also be directed at building capacity and educating the youth on being deliberate about being involved in the governance of the country. Talking about attaining the highest office in this country, if you don't have capacity, how do you attain that highest office? I also appeal and recommend that various youth empowerment bodies should create platforms for the youth to engage directly with policymakers. The perception that youth are too young and cannot take meaningful decisions might be wiped out completely. We need young, vibrant youth at the forefront of democracy. The old must cheerfully, smiling, happily take on roles of mentorship to ensure that important skills are passed on to the next generation. We don't want to be fighting with our older people at the policy table. So they should serve as mentors for us, if that will be okay. The government should also take advantage of technology, such as social media campaigns, online voter registration, among others, to involve them in this participation. It is important to know that most youth are on social media nowadays, and we don't even make time to watch TV or read. It will be better we take advantage of that platform before they are corrupted with other interests. We should be deliberate and intentional about supporting youth-led initiatives and organizations that empower young people to take active roles in community and advocate for change. Taking these important people to those areas, as we've seen here, we've seen a lot of names when they were mentioning it. Taking them to those communities will build their confidence. Further, promoting youth participation in democracy requires the use of spaces such as the media. We appeal to the media, and I'm happy Winston is here, to focus more on creating content that will create awareness on some of these issues for the youth, and reduce the agenda politics, and stop encouraging negative news as we always see. Last but not least, we should provide opportunities for young people to connect with and learn from successful leaders and mentors without any political agenda in mind, and inspire and guide them in their civic engagement journey. As a country, we should be intentional about considering the youth as deputy ministers and also members of vibrant committees. I'm very sad our MP has just left, but I know she will hear this news. It is to them that they should have to mentor us, the young ones. It shouldn't be just those in their constituency. It shouldn't be just their party faithfuls. It shouldn't be just those around them. But they should go out there and speak to everybody. By implementing these strategies, societies can foster a culture of active citizenship and ensure that the voice and perspective of young people are heard and valued in democratic process in the country. I'll end with a quote by Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah that says, "Place the youth at the head of awaken masses. You do not know what strength, what magic influence the voice of the young may have on the crowd. You'll find them in the apostles of new social order." God bless our homeland Ghana and God bless us all. Thank you.